This is another case of severe title confusion. The box and cartridge say Pachiokun 5, and even give the game a subtitle. The title screen says Pachiokun Jr. It's the 5th game in the series for the Famicom, so I'm sticking with Pachiokun 5. That subtitle is Junior no Chosen, or Junior's Challenge. Pachiokun 5 is the last pachinko game on the Famicom, and that also means it's the last Pachiokun game on the system. I do a retrospective on them, but you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between any of the games, so there's no point. Pachinko was Japan's national gambling addiction. You'd go to a pachinko parlor, buy a whole bunch of ball bearings from them, pump them into a machine that launched the balls up through a pegboard, and if you hit certain slots, more balls would come out. When you were done playing, you took all the balls that you had gotten, and could turn them in for a prize which you immediately traded for cash. In 2023, pachinko like this is all but dead, having been replaced by Pachi slot, video slot machines with the minimum legal requirement of pachinko. Since this is the last pachinko game on the Famicom, it's also my last opportunity to use the pachinko controller, an oddly shaped blob of a controller that has a spring-loaded analog knob attached to it. You twist it and it tries to pull itself back to the original position, and this replicates the feel of an actual pachinko machine. The plot of Pachiokun 5 is that Pachiokun has been kidnapped. An evil wizard pachinko ball has stolen him away, and the only way that Pachiokun Jr. could get to his father is by clearing a whole bunch of pachinko machines. The game starts at Pachiokun's house, and if Jr. comes back here and goes to sleep, it'll save the game to one of the 2 battery slots on the cartridge. It also advances time by a day, and there are timed events for you to take advantage of. You start the game with a handful of coins, and the coins are used to ride the train between districts or buy balls for the pachinko machines. 1 coin translates to 100 balls. You can also trade balls that you get out of the machine back to coins, and those coins can be used to purchase items that will help you. Things like a television which will show you news reports about which parlor machines are hot. When you sit down at a machine to play it, balls automatically start launching, and if you have the special pachinko controller, then you just twist to the right. Otherwise, you'll have to hit left and right on your D-pad. If you're using the D-pad, it will drift back down, so if you find a spot where you're getting a lot of shots in, you'll need to keep tapping right every once in a while to stay there. And then you just sit here and watch the pachinko balls go. The machine starts with a certain number of balls in it. How many depends on which parlor you're in, and the game is always keeping track of how many balls you put in and how many balls come out. Once the machine is reduced to 0 balls in it, then you've cleared it and it's put out of service. You need to clear out 10 pachinko machines every day in order to advance the game. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes of continuous shots in order to clean out a pachinko machine if you're doing well. So that is a lot of time staring at the screen, not doing anything. If you run out of balls, you can automatically transfer one of your coins into another 100 pachinko balls. And you can actually do that at any time if you hit select and then press up on the controller. Hitting select and then pressing down will get you to the option to leave that particular machine. After you clear out about 1,000 machines, you'll reach the wizard and learn his terrible secret. His secret is that he was actually Pachiokun and was teaching Junior a lesson. That's right, I just spoiled the end of Pachiokun 5 without warning. It's not like you were going to play it or were invested in the plot. This might be the last Pachiokun game on the Famicom, but it's far from the end of the Pachiokun series. Kind of. There are 9 Pachiokun games released in the next 2 years, and then the series comes to a crashing halt. Pachinko was the biggest thing in Japan, until suddenly in the mid-90s it wasn't. And that transition away from electromechanical pachinko machines seems to be what stopped the Pachiokun series dead. Shockingly, nobody in Japan seems to care about Pachiokun 5. The very few people I could find who said anything about it seemed more annoyed at its existence than anything else. I do think Pachiokun 5 is the most approachable pachinko game on the Famicom. It has the largest variety of machines, and with the way that it automatically turns coins into pachinko balls, it's easy to manage how you're playing. but it's still a pachinko game. You're still going to spend 20 to 30 hours staring at these screens if you were to try to beat it. Don't do that to yourself. You've got better things to do with your life.